Hey, good day, Facebook Live. Welcome. Nice to see you all. Let me get Instagram going real quick. Hey, Instagram Live, welcome back. Let's see, as you are tuning in, I would love to know, number one, where you're tuning in from. Number two, love to know three things you're grateful for on this Saturday morning, evening, afternoon. Good morning to all of our friends over in Australia. Good evening to Europe and the East Coast. Let's see. Inspiring Vanessa, nice to see you from London. Yasmin, welcome. Good morning in Australia. Hello, friends from Ireland. Hugo, what's up? Alan, welcome. Hi. Hey, I think it's Victoria from Calgary, Alberta. Hey, Texas, welcome. Hello from Norway, UK, Oregon. Welcome. As you're tuning in again, number one, where you're tuning in from. Number two, love to know three things you're grateful for. Merrick, welcome. Good morning. Helly, hi. Let's see. So as you're tuning in, today will be short and sweet. We're on day number 19 of our 100-day personal performance and business growth challenge here. Sup, Jarek 305 representing. Very nice. Hello from Stratford, Ontario. Welcome. Hughie from the UK. Welcome. Fairfield Country, Connecticut. Welcome. Hello from Thailand. So, as you're joining in, today's topic, and we've been focusing on things you can do to optimize your health and fitness, things you can do to optimize your mindset, things you can do to optimize your business now. Now, I'd love to know, however many of you are in a position where you've ever had to negotiate for anything, today's topic is a really simple insight that's wildly valuable in negotiation. And the concept is really simple. So often when we show up, let me fix this. When we show up in a situation to negotiate, so often what lands up happening is we come in and we say, okay, here's how much we want. We want this amount. And we say, okay, that's what exists, and we want this amount. And they come in and they go, oh, no, I can't possibly pay you that amount. This part is off limits, and the rest of this, that's all I can do. And you go, well, that'll never work. The truth is, I'm going to need at least this much more, these two lines going down. I need at least it. And they go, no, I can't give you two lines. Maybe here, I'll give you one line going this way, and then you could have the rest. And you go, oh, I don't know. And I don't know if you've ever done this in negotiation, where you guys keep pushing this line a little higher, a little lower, a little higher, a little lower, a little higher, a little lower. And it's this whole concept of negotiating over this piece. Now, a good friend of mine and a business mentor, he said, why in the world are you wasting your time trying to negotiate over this little piece of the pie? He's like, why are you wasting all of your time trying to go over this? He goes, what do you want? Like, just be really specific. When you get down to negotiation, you have to answer the question, what do you really want? And let's say out of, you want this much. Like, you want this much. Now, whatever that number is that this represents, and it's not half the pie, it's just you want that much. And let's say, let's just put this in a different framework. Let's say you want 5 stars for what you're doing. And this can be any amount of money. This can be any amount of stuff. You want 5 stars. And here you say 5 stars, and they go, no, I can't give you 5 stars. I can maybe give you 2 stars. And you go, well, I'm going to need at least 3, and then 4. And then eventually you land up at 3.5 stars. And here you get 3.5 when you negotiate really hard and gave it all your might. And this gets crazy. It's like, why are you settling for this? He said, ask a different question. Instead of lowering it, say, listen, I want 5 stars. What do I have to deliver to you so that it would be obvious, easy, and simple, and you'd be excited to give me 5 stars for it? Now, let's change this. Let's say you wanted to get, I don't know, let's say you wanted to make $100,000 in a negotiation. And you come in and you say, listen, it's $100,000 to do this. And they go, well, I mean, $100,000, I can't give you $100,000 because really, truly, $100,000, I believe, is too much to pay someone. Oh, let me give you a better example here. I was working with a company and they asked me how much would it be to do a year-long training. So I did some math. I figured out what it would be and I wrote out a contract for them. And I wrote them an agreement and I said, it's $265,000 and I'll do the training quarterly for you guys. And they came back and they said, no way, too expensive. And I said, too expensive compared to what? And they're like, well, that's too expensive to pay for training. And I said, you're not paying for training, you're paying for the result of the training. So I said, my calculation was, I said, I only do stuff based on a 10% ratio. My belief is, if I understand your business right, I could help you produce another $2.65 million over this next 12 months throughout this process. And my thought is, if I could help you do that, I would be able to earn 10% of it for the fee of what I've done. And so I calculated $265,000 at 10%. Now, if I can get you the 2.65 million, does it make sense to move forward with the 265,000? Because they were negotiating on if this was a number they would accept for training. That's not what I was negotiating on. I said, hey, I'm trying to see if I can get you a $2.6 million result. And if I can help your team produce a $2.6 million result, would you be willing to invest 10% to make it happen? And they came back and they said, what's your guarantee? I said, how about this? Pay me 50% up front so that I know you're the real deal and I'm not going to get gypped out, and I'll take the rest. But if you want 50% down and the rest over time, instead of 10%, I want 12%. And I'll take 50% down. So you can pay me $132,000 up front or paid over months. And then in return, I want 12% of the 2.65 million that we create over time instead of 10% or whatever the difference is. And all of a sudden, $265,000 started making pretty good sense, because if I could legitimately, and they're still mulling over the numbers, but if I could legitimately help them produce a $2.65 million result, 10% isn't that big of a deal. Now, what we have to calculate, and this is where you have to be really honest and you have to be of absolute integrity on this side. Can you actually deliver the result? Because if I take their money and I have no clue and I'm playing the, oh, I'll figure it out game to try to get to that result, this is a horrific deal. And I guarantee your reputation will go so much faster than you think into the environment. You will never be hired for this again in business. Now, the reason I'll take a deal like this is because I've helped business owners in similar industries as them do much more than this. I helped a guy go from 3-point-something million up to 14 million in his real estate business. I helped another guy, massively increase his numbers. His personal net income went from 500,000 to 750,000 in the next year. And so this concept is, I have total certainty I can do this because I've also done training for this guy's company. I've seen the team they're working with, and I know there's a couple minor adjustments that can be made to easily get this up, because they're working with multiple locations. Let's just say they have 10 locations. So to get an extra 2.65 million out of 10 locations, real quick, throw me some math. How much do I have to get each location to make more of in 1 year? So if they have 10 locations, 2.65 million divided by 10, each location has to make an additional 265,000. So 265,000 divided by 12 months, if you start doing the math on this, divided by 10 is 26, divided by 12, 20, I don't know what the number is, but if all of a sudden, basically, all I need to do is get them an additional 20,000 per location over the 12 months, and that means it's only 2 additional sales per location on what they sell. I said, oh my God, this is a no-brainer. Can I get each month 10 locations to do 2 additional sales than they have before in the past? 100% yes. I know exactly what has to happen to get that done. That's an easy win. And so what's happening is, as I'm looking at these numbers, to get to this giant number is not that complicated. I have total and absolute certainty that I can get each one of these locations, after meeting with them, up to that number. If I can get them up to their 22,000 additional revenue per month, all of a sudden, I know I can generate an additional 2.65 million for their company, which means when I'm asking for 10%, I have total certainty. That means I would rather take less down and a higher percentage of the split than take more down in cash, because I'm going to end up making more if I take a higher percentage. So in those cases, I'll back down and I'll say, you know what? Let's just do something crazy. Instead of paying me 10% upfront in cash, I'll make you an option. We can do 10% in cash. We can do 50% down with 12% of whatever the excess earnings are, or I'll make you a crazy offer. Why don't you give me 50 grand down and I'll take 20% of what I can help produce here? And all of a sudden what happens is, I know I'm making a really good deal, because as long as I can do what I know I can in this company, I'm going to land up making almost $500,000 from this deal, and everyone still wins. They're still getting an extra, not total amount, extra $2.65 million in revenue for their business. I'm going to land up with about $500,000 of this growth game, and everyone's going to be stoked. Now, what I've learned is, instead of trying to cut the piece down, get the pie bigger. Figure out, how can you bring more to the table? It's like when you're hiring someone, the common thing you hear people say is, do they fit the culture? Do they fit the culture? And you're just seeing if they fit the culture, versus what they're missing is, does this person add to the culture? Do they not only fit, but do they make it better? By having them here, are we better as an organization? Are we better as a team? Are we better off than without this person here? And so in any negotiation, I always look at whatever's going on and say, wow, how can I add by adding more to what they're already doing than they've ever had access to before? And I'm not trying to cut down the pie. I'm trying to make the pie bigger so that I can take a big piece of the pie that I would really like in return for adding more than their pie has ever done. So most people, if we go all the way back to the beginning, that little chart, most people, when we negotiate something, we say, hey, we have a little pie here and I want X amount. That's how most people do it. I say, listen, I want way more than that, but watch this. I want this much, but I want to help make the pie that big, so that much ain't that big at all. So if you can help make the pie bigger and add so much more to what they're doing, all of a sudden what you're asking for isn't that much at all. And now I don't have to go down on my numbers. Instead, I get the number I'm asking for, regardless of how big or small it is, because I'm able to add so much more to what they're doing. But remember, it absolutely depends on your ability to execute and deliver. If I made this offer to someone and I did not make their pie this much bigger, I'll give them their damn money back. Meaning, if I can't get this level of growth right here, it's not fair for me to take this much of their pie. In my eyes, they might think it's fair, but I don't. I'll give them their money back, or I'll do another year around it, or I'll find some way. We live by 3 core values as an organization. Number 1, care. Number 2, have fun. Number 3, over deliver. If I cannot over deliver in this gap right here and extend the pie, it's not a good deal for them. Therefore, I won't take the deal either, because that's jacked up. Now I'm taking, and in the long run, my reputation will kick me in the face. And so I've learned this over the years. really, truly, you got to be able to extend the pie. You got to be able to add more to their organization or team than they have access to without you, and then ask for a piece of what you're adding instead of just trying to take something that they have already. So, and I don't underpromise. I promise, and then I overdeliver. And I promise good things. If I come into a company and promise an additional 2.65 million, that's not underpromising. We're going to deliver that. We just make sure we absolutely deliver. So I hope this is helpful. Day number 19. I hope this is useful. I hope you use it and go do something great with it. I have some friends over, so I'm going to go get back to our game, and I'll talk to you all later. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.